Somebody came up to me and they were talking about God's calling in their life. How do you know God's calling? And right here in the scripture, this is what God's calling us to do. He's calling us to die. To die, to take up our cross. In Luke, it tells us to take up our cross daily and follow Jesus. That's what your calling is. And so, one way that I like to look at it is that this is our life right here, okay? And there comes a point in our life where we say, this is my path. I'm going to do whatever I want to do, wherever I want to go. I'm going to take this. But there comes a point in our life when we realize, hopefully, that what we're doing is not enough, that we cannot keep going the way we're going and live a life that is fulfilling to God. So there's a point in our life where we have to say, God, you can have me. And we say, Lord, whatever in this life that comes along, God, you can have that. And so there is a big yes where we say yes to the Lord and we lay ourselves down before God and say, Lord, it's yours. And everything in this life that comes up, it's going to be yours. So it's one big yes, right? But then there comes times in our lives where things are brought up in the bag that we didn't realize we said yes to. But we already said, Lord, you can have this. And the Lord starts to reveal these things to us. When I was growing up, I was homeschooled until I came here in 7th grade. And when I came here in 7th grade, I was a little scared. I was kind of nervous. I didn't know a lot of people. Somebody called me a name and I cried. I was a very sensitive kid when I came here. It's like I'm just used to my sister calling me names, but now somebody else did it. It was sad. But I had to come to the point where I said, and I didn't realize this at the time, but I said, Lord, I said yes to you, so I'm going to give this up to you. And then there was a time in my life when I was 11 years old, and God called me to be a pastor. And I didn't realize in my time what that meant. But I was 11 years old, and I don't know why it was so clear to my heart. But I said, "Okay, God, I'm gonna be a pastor." And so I gave that to Him. And I wasn't a pastor the next day. It was just, I gave it to Him. Though. I said, "That's what I'm gonna do." I went all throughout my high school career knowing this is what I was gonna do. I went all throughout college knowing this is what I was going to do. And here I am. I gave that to the Lord when I was 11. When I was in high school here, I loved track. Absolutely loved track. And there came a time where I decided where I needed to be going to college. And where I wanted to go to college, or where I felt like the Lord was calling me to go to college, did not have a track team. And I was like, Lord, I love track. He said, look, I'm calling you to go to that college. I said, okay. And so I had to give that to the Lord. Also, in my time here, I had a girlfriend. Beautiful. And we dated for 2 years. And as we started dating my junior year, and we talked about marriage, we talked about all sorts of things, and we were a couple, man, and we were going to graduate from this school, and we were going to get married, and we were going to, I don't know what we were going to do, but we were going to do it. Anyways, after marriage, of course. And so, you like that word, But there came a point in my life where she broke up with me my freshman year of college, and I was devastated. And I was like, somebody said, "Oh, thank you for that, thank you." Yeah, it was a ball moment. She broke up with me. And I was like, Lord, I was kind of banking on that, and you're talking about marriage, you're thinking the rest of your life with this person. And I was like, Lord, what are you doing? This was going to be, that match made in heaven, And she broke up with me. And I got to tell you what, this one took about a year. A year before I said, okay, God, I'm going to give that to you. It's going to be yours. And I'm going to tell you what, guys, even today, I gave God this bag a long time ago. I gave him my life and I told him yes. But there are days when he brings up these little yeses, or they seem to be big yeses, and he keeps pulling them out. He says, hey, you gave me this bag and everything in it way before, way back whenever. So this all belongs to me, right? And even now, guys, I'm going through something in my life where I'm taking this and I have to decide, Lord, am I going to die out to myself, to my desires, and I'm going to give it to you, or am I just going to hold on to it? And like Luke says, they had to take up or Jesus said, take up your cross daily. You know, today I got to give this up to the Lord again. I got to say, God, you can have this. And that's what it is, Lord, guys. That's what your calling is right now. You guys are here at New Covenant Academy. You need to get your education. You guys, I see you guys on the worship team. Some of you said that you were called into maybe the worship leader. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to do. Using the gifts that God's giving you right now. Some of you, but some of us, we have these things and we give them to the Lord. But you know, for me, in college, one of the things that I wanted to look at was my future. I was like, okay, Lord, what's my future look like? And then I got broken up with, it was a couple of years after that, I was like, Lord, gosh, there's no way here. Like, I'm still single, what's up with this? And I took this, and I took it back, I was like, hey, Lord, what's happening? And sometimes I think we like to think that we can hold on to certain things and it's not going to affect the rest of our life. But when we start to take control, we're saying, God, I'm going to have just this one. You can have all the rest of these things, but God, this one is mine. When we start to take control, guys, of this one thing, the other things in our life start to come under our control. And we have to lay everything down before God and say, Lord, it's yours.